What is up, you guys? Welcome back. And today's video, this might be a tough pill to swallow. Actually, you guys are probably going to be annoyed. This is a really amazing flavor, by the way. Himalayan salt, rose water. It's fire. Anyways, yeah, you're not gonna like what I have to say today, but I think it's of crucial importance to mention this and to really begin to pay attention to this. It is about what are you putting your attention on? As we go about this practice, we're affirming this, new idea. We're working on our affirmations, our self-concept maybe, but whatever affirmation that is that we've picked, we've been talking about, discussing about the poignant focus of focusing on 1 to 2 affirmations, 3 maybe at the most, at tops. But the main focus of our life, the reason that we're engaging in this practice, right, is to reorient our attention, to begin to focus on and change the directional focus onto what is going to serve us, onto what is going to empower us to achieve this new ideal that we're bringing into our life. And whether that is a relationship, whether that is a job, whether that is a new position, a new station, a new circumstance that you were drawing into your life, right? And the thing is that I say this so many times, so I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record, but we tend, unfortunately, the environment tends to be primarily negative. It happens with music, it happens with shows, it happens with the people around us, right? And so what I'm going to suggest, and take this however you will, begin to withdraw your attention from the things that are not helping you on this journey. Because what happens is that I always like to use this little visual aid here, but we are currently on a certain life trajectory, life path, right? And all of that is based on our current viewpoint that we're looking through life from. We've been talking about Frederick Dodson's teachings a lot lately on this channel. And he essentially says that once you shift your viewpoint, your circumstances will change. And that's really just another way of saying the same stuff that Neville Goddard says, right? Once you change your state. And so the thing to pay attention to, if Neville, let's say that Neville was doing all this manifestation work and he was learning from that guy Abdullah, right? But let's say that right after hanging out with Abdullah, he went to go hang out with his friends at the bar, and they were all telling him that, hey, you know what, Neville, all of that manifestation stuff, it doesn't work. Really what you need to do is you need to just go find a normal job. And really what you need to do, Neville, is you need to stop, engaging in this, stop working on your book. Feeling is the secret. It's a bunch of baloney. And what you need to do is get a regular job. Come work in the factory with us. Come work in the industrial plant, just like all of us. And, go home, get a salary, come out to the bar and come in and, whatever they're doing, right? The story I'm illustrating to you is what would have happened if Neville would have done that and taken on all of that into his consciousness. It's basically what happens is when you're doing this, when you're on the path of self-development, when you're on the path of growth, you go in, you take all this good information, right? You might be watching my channel, you might be watching somebody else's channel, you might be listening to podcasts, you might be focusing on improving yourself in multiple different ways, you might be focusing on your diet, your mindset, all these different things at once, right? And then you go and hang around these family members, let's say, that are just like, oh, what are you doing though? Like, why don't you get a job? Or why don't you have a boyfriend? Why don't you have a girlfriend? Why don't you have, why do you keep focusing on that, why are you going to this seminar? Why are you focusing on reading so much? What are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your life? Come and watch Love Island with us. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because what happens with ourselves is, again, so we're on this path, right? We're taking in all this good information, but when we are around information, media, whatever it might be, and it's pulling us into this negative story. And a lot of the times, the people from our past too, they want to keep us in a box. They want to keep us in a nice and tidy little box where they know us from high school or middle school or from when we were kids, and they want to just keep us here, right here. They want us right here, because if we go outside of the box at all, then they have to shift either their identity, their perception of us, or they have to shift their own perception of themselves. People don't want to do that. If they start to see, it's the crabs in the bucket phenomenon, right? One of the crabs starts going up and venturing outside of the bucket, and all the crabs bring the other crab down. This is a, you know, it's a thing they've studied in psychology, and this is a thing that human beings do. And it's one of those kind of just those things. It's like, it's just how it is. It's just like, okay, we might as well not fight it. We might as well not try to wish it wasn't like that. It's just accept it, what it is, for what it is. And a lot of the times people are uncomfortable with seeing your growth because it shines a spotlight on all their imperfections, all the places where they weren't able to rise up, all the places where they didn't have the discipline, they didn't pay attention to their diet, they didn't do the thing, right? So they don't want to feel bad about themselves. So what they do, they'll condemn you for it. They'll say, oh, you know, so-and-so, oh, they're trying to do this. They're going to the workout plan. They're going to do their affirmations. They're going, you know, study self-development. And, you know, they'll make fun of you. They'll essentially, like, it's really insidious, but really what these people are trying to do is they're trying to make you feel shame. They're trying to make you feel guilt for doing this, for trying to better yourself. And what my suggestion here is like, really begin to ascertain what it is you're giving your attention to, because we know this already. I mean, the thing is that we can talk about this, we can theorize about this all day long till the cows come home. We can do it for the next 10 years. I could post these videos every day and talk about this stuff. But if you don't actually take control of where you're giving your attention, where you are giving your focus, where is your predominant focus, what is dominating your awareness, because all of this stuff is having an impact on it. Whether it's you're playing that music in the car, you're listening to that song, you're watching that trash reality TV. You know, a lot of these reality TV shows are literally, in my opinion, it's like you're taking in poison, because it's some of the most toxic relationship dynamics. It's some of the most just dysfunctional relationship ideas and ideas about the relationships between people, and they're getting perpetuated, they're getting promoted through this medium. And so when you go, and I know that it's like, it hooks you, right? Because it's the drama and it's the tension, and you want to see how it ends, and you want to know what happens with these people, and it's all designed like that. You see, the social media has been designed like that too, to just get into your dopamine receptors so that you can't stop scrolling. You can't stop scrolling on Instagram. You can't stop watching, what are those shows, like Love is Blind or whatever that bullshit is. And then it's like you get hooked on it, and then what's going on is it's taking over your consciousness. You've allowed this, and it could be, you know, it could be like porn. It could be just drama, like dramatic stuff. It could be violence, right? That you're watching. You like watching, you know, and like whatever, you know, in a small amount. I'm not saying that you can never watch this stuff, but what I am saying is really pay attention to where you're putting your focus, because when you put your focus on this stuff time and time again, you might be doing your affirmations in the mirror. You might wake up, do your affirmations. You might even be doing this practice where you do it 3 times a day. But if on your off break, you're sitting there listening to people that are basically reaffirming and reasserting this worldview that's very limited, that's very much like, oh, you know, it's all about your external success. It's all about your clout, or it's all about, and these are, I'm just kind of spitballing here, but a lot of like toxic ideas that get perpetuated is like, you know, if this person doesn't have this amount of money or this amount of things in the bank account, or isn't buying me this, and isn't putting a ring on it, and isn't doing, it's like these things are so toxic and they're so insidious, because you start to buy in to this societal narrative, which is very, very limiting. You can have a very healthy relationship with somebody, and you're receiving all this stuff from the media, or from your friends, or from, you know, people. We went over that example recently where it's like, you know, the woman that just thinks men are trash, because, you know, a lot of people, there's a lot of trashing men in our society nowadays. Just unfortunately there is. And so you're taking into your consciousness, and you're absorbing it. And now you're thinking that, oh, if he didn't do this, if he didn't do that, if he didn't hold the door open for me this one time, then that means he's not a good person, and he's not a good man, or he's not this or that. And it's just like, That's not really true. You know, you have to, every single situation, every single thing, you have to evaluate somebody for the person that they are. Like, do they have positive intentions? Maybe they were telling you to do something and maybe it was coming from a good place. But if you've gotten in this reactive thing where you're like, oh, I don't ever do anything that anybody tells me to do, now you're cutting yourself off from even seeing the intention behind what somebody was saying, that they were recommending something or they were trying to do something in a selfless way, not in a selfish way, because they were trying to show you something. They were trying to point you in a good direction or give you some positive advice for your life. And so, you know, it can be very, like, I used to listen to a lot of rap, right? I used to listen to rap music almost like exclusively. And to be honest, I don't even listen to rap anymore. I do very occasionally, but I've realized over time that, you know, the things that we allow into our consciousness are going to have an effect. And again, I listen to it still sometimes, but what I'm saying is, like, be aware, just be aware. Even if you are watching it, even if you're like, okay, I'm going to watch this TV show or whatever, just having the conscious awareness of what you're watching, that, yeah, you know, like a lot of the ideas in the show or a lot of the stuff in this music, it's entertainment, but this isn't really a good rubric or blueprint for how I should actually be interacting with people, for how I should actually treat people, for how I should actually look at the world, because it's not. It's very unhealthy. And you can see it across the board that, you know, people's relationships are, you know, becoming more and more dysfunctional. It's becoming more and more normal for people to have completely dysfunctional relationships, more and more divorce. There's more and more people on medication, people on psychiatrics, people committing suicide, like all these things. The mental health, especially in the United States, and I'd probably say around the world, has been on a steady decline since like 1990. And there's been studies on this. This is not just like I'm pulling this out of my ass, but this is actually factually true. You can look this up. I don't have the studies with me offhand, but the people's levels of fulfillment, people's levels of happiness, people's levels of joy. And so you have to really, really take an assessment and take an inventory of what it is that you're allowing into your conscious awareness. And when you begin to slowly withdraw your attention from all those things that aren't serving you, from all those things that are leading you down a limited road, a limited path. And again, hard pill to swallow. I'm probably going to get a bunch of dislikes on this video, but it's not my job to sit here and tell you things that I think are just going to make you feel good. I think that a lot of people in this YouTube space, especially in this community, will just kind of say what you want to hear. You know, it's like throw rocks at your enemies. Nobody's going to love you any more than the person that's willing to, you know, encourage whatever it is that you're already doing, and then like throw stones at the enemies. There's a saying about that, right? And I'm not, I don't think, you know, it doesn't feel like it's within my, you know, personal integrity to be doing something like that. I have to be honest with you, and I have to tell you that this is something that you should pay attention to, because this is having an effect on your ability to create, on your ability to choose, on your ability to manifest what it is that you want in your life. If you're constantly dwelling, if you're constantly looking at these, taking in negative inputs, it's going to inform the output. There simply is no other way. There's no other way around it. When you dwell on positive things, when you dwell on beautiful things, when you dwell on possibilities, when you dwell on the fact that you can have positive relationships, you can have better opportunities to make more money, you can be fulfilled and enjoy your life and make money and meet the right people that you want to meet all at the same time. It's not like you have to choose one or the other. You know, I've had so many people in my life that have just like kind of like discouraged me, or kind of told me that, you know, like given me that disapproving feedback for what I'm doing or what I've chosen to do. And at a certain point, you have to just be like, yeah, like, I don't care. I don't care what my parents, or I don't care what my relatives, or I don't care what my friend group thinks about what I'm doing, because they're always gonna have something to say. People are always gonna have something negative to say, especially when they see you doing something, you're putting in the work, you're passionate about what you're doing. They don't have that. So they're going to be mad about it. They're going to be upset that they don't have the fortitude to stick with something. And yeah, you know, it is what it is. Again, crabs in the buckets. You got to be able to make those choices. You got to be able to withdraw. You got to be able to put your focus on what is going to help you accomplish your goals. What is going to help you accomplish and be the person that you want to be, not the person that is getting the current results, because the person that you are is generating the current results. And that's, you're made up of your habits. Your habits are made up, your character is made up of your habits. You see how this works? If your habits are coming home, stuffing your face with TV dinners and watching, like I said, reality TV at night, and you're not putting progress towards your goals, you're not making an effort towards your goals, you're not taking in positive things that are going to inform and prime you for a positive mindset that can accomplish what it is that you want. You might be like to learn a skill, or to get better at this, or to simply just be able to relax more. Then you're in this heightened fight or flight, stimulated state all the time. You're constantly looking for the next hit, I'm addicted to scrolling. I'm addicted to feedback. I'm addicted to validation. You got to start finding that within yourself, guys. You got to start bringing your focus back to yourself. These other people's validation, it doesn't matter what they're doing. What matters is what you are doing. What matters is the way that you are showing up. So bring the focus back into yourself. Take conscious control of what it is that you are allowing into your environment, what it is that you are allowing around you, the people that you're around, the information that you're taking in. Instead of watching like bullshit stuff in the morning, or instead of coming home and watching a bunch of bullshit and watching the news, God forbid, start listening to a podcast. Start listening to your favorite YouTuber. Start writing notes. Start doing your affirmation exercise. Start doing your practice in the mirror, telling yourself with strong, confident body language that you are accomplishing, that you are becoming it. You are not needing to seek outside of yourself for anything. All of these manifestation hacks, all of these manifestation tools, it's really just a way for you to become it, for you to become you, for you to become the best that you can possibly be, for you to unlock your potential and be that, become it. The only way you're gonna be able to do that is by consciously taking control, taking charge. This is how you take charge of your life. First and foremost, it's a trickle-down effect. Your thoughts become your words, become your actions, become your habits, become your character, become your destiny. So take control of your thoughts by withdrawing from the bullshit that doesn't serve you. Anyways, guys, much love as always. Drop this with a like, hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.